So what happened to that great standard of living that we used to enjoy here in America in the 1960s and even into the 1970s? Well, that's what the Cost of a Thing podcast is all about, and that's what I'm going to be talking about here. Okay, I was just going to talk today a little about how important a positive attitude is and how important that is in having a good standard of living, a good life for yourself. And the title of my podcast today is Nobody Ever Promised Anybody an Easy Life. Nobody ever came to me, mom or dad or my brothers or uncles and aunts, never came up to me and said, you know, Lloyd, you are going to have this really easy life. No, they knew that life is very difficult and there's going to be a lot of stuff coming down the line that you're not going to like happening all the time. And we know what those things are. And it's a difficult place. The world is a difficult place. And I hear a lot of people complaining about a lot of things, and there was problems. I list some of the problems right here that I think could be fixed. The ones that I list on my podcast here, especially my top 10 super ripoffs. If we could fix those, I think the world would be a much better place for everybody. But if anybody out there had somebody come up to them when they were a kid or even older, hey, and said, you're going to have an easy life there, I'd like to hear about that because nobody ever tells you. So what are you supposed to recognize from that? It's going to be a difficult life for most of us, at least at times. And so the best thing you can do is get through those things and have a great positive attitude anyway. And as we all know, there's always negative things coming along all of our lives from time to time that we have to deal with. Nobody is exempt from those. But it always pays you to try to keep those things like on a side burner, a back burner, and go ahead with your good attitude anyway, because that's how you're going to keep that good outlook and get a better chance at having a good life. You can't have a good standard of living if you're not happy. You don't have a positive outlook. And when we have these things come into our lives, it's an opportunity for us to show our mettle. Others will respond to that, and you'll be setting a good example for other people to get through their hard times if you can get through yours, and with a good attitude and a positive attitude. And so everybody's going to be better off if we do that. People in the past, if we look back, they went through some hellacious things. Huge wars where they didn't know if their country was going to be taken over by some hostile power. And maybe it was taken over. And they lost the war, and they lost millions of people died. And there's been a lot worse diseases out there than we're dealing with right now. So it's a good time to show our mettle, show that positive attitude, and have that great standard of living and a happy life that you deserve. My favorite positive attitude guy is Jack Lalanne. He was the exercise and fitness king who started the whole fitness thing about how to have a good, healthy body. And of course, a healthy body is one of the things that's going to help you have a great standard of living. You can't really have it without a healthy body. You see people are sick, they're not going to go have any fun. Listen to Jack, and you can go on YouTube. They got a bunch of his old, he had a show in the 60s and 50s, even in the 70s, I think, an exercise show, and he'd get on there and talk about how to have a good attitude and how to be healthy. He always puts me in a good mood when I listen to him, and I would recommend everybody go watch a little Jack Lalanne from his prime years there. What a great inspiration Jack Lalanne was. One of my favorite, probably in the top 10 of my favorite people of all time. So I'm just going to wrap this up here, keep it a little bit short if I can, get right to the point. Hopefully you got the point. And nobody promised anybody ever that life was going to be easy for them. So let's expect some disappointment and still keep our positive attitude and go forward and have that great standard of living and that happy life that we all deserve. Thank you for listening in today. And until next time, this is Lloyd Holiday signing off.